So what today is going to be our final third month of the fourth quarter promotion with Vollrath on the cost of ownership. I'm going to be going into a lot of reasons why we're selling Vollrath and why you can get good gross margin selling Vollrath and selling the quality as opposed to selling a lot of the imports. We will then go over the current status of the Vollrath promotion. We will then go into our month-long promotion on Survey, our robots. We've got a new program with them where for the month of December, we're going to have them for sale instead of for lease. So there's going to be a lot of great benefits on that. We're going to go over the new account opening form. This is when you get a new account and you have to open things up and get an account number. And finally, we're going to go over the path to 3X results. We have another person who's joined the club and is going to be getting some bonus money come February. So I want to go ahead and look for.
All right, I'm back. Money Suit's back. Hopefully everybody's selling a lot of Vollrath, making some cash. This is the last month of the push, and there's some big money to be had overall at the end of this thing. So I hope everybody's doing well, had a nice Thanksgiving, and today we're going to talk a little bit about the last month of this is Jacob's Pride products for us, which really involves total cost of ownership. So JP, Jacob's Pride, Jacob Vollrath, the owner of the company, that means it has a lifetime guarantee on those products. So those are going to be American made, the most durable products in the catalog, and it kind of spans a number of items from kitchen essentials to a lot of our fry pans and that sort of thing. So getting into the total cost of ownership and why a lifetime warranty matters, why durability matters, why quality matters, which are all attributes of our products. It's understanding the life cycle cost. So total cost of ownership is not just, hey, this one thing lasts longer than that. It could mean it is energy and water savings, maintenance and repair replacement savings, labor productivity savings, food waste, risk mitigation. Those are all things that go into the total cost of a product in the long term. There's a lot of stuff that's out there that's cheaper to buy. A paper plate is cheaper to buy than, one of these Dutson plates I'm looking at behind the camera. But you're going to be replacing that thing over and over again versus the Dutson plate. Now, there's certainly costs that go into both. Dutson plate, somebody has to wash it. But there's waste involved with the paper plates. You're going to have someone take out that trash, pay to have that picked up. So there's all these ancillary costs that go in to the total cost of a product, and that's what we're going to talk about today. A lot of times end users are tempted to make a quick decision. That's $1, that's $2. I'm going to go with the $1. And they're not thinking about that big picture, and cheaper products could end up costing you, many times more over the life of the product. So that's where life cycle costing comes in. So like I mentioned, total cost of ownership takes into account energy and water savings, maintenance, repair, replacement, of course, labor savings, productivity, food waste, which is a big one, and risk mitigation. Is the product going to be safer for the employees and the customers using? So getting into that, the reason why Vollrath has a lower total cost of ownership is because we build high quality products, high quality designs that last a long time. We use high quality materials, high quality components, and we follow very strict standards for our products in the factory and how they're made. You guys know the product. This spans small wares, this spans countertop equipment and serving systems. So all of the different categories and into Stolting and the frozen beverage side too now. We mentioned the Jacob's Pride has a limited lifetime guarantee. It's accurate, unique designs and features that make them the most quality products in the industry. And, we even have things like antimicrobial that's using silver ion that helps with the food safety aspects of this stuff that we'll touch on a little bit. So You guys know, we talked about this a little bit, but common types of materials are the aluminum, stainless steel, and the combinations of clad. We hit on when we were talking about the fry pans a little bit about those materials and what makes the difference. Aluminum is a lighter material. It's a little less expensive. It's faster to heat up and more even heating. And then, but it's not quite as durable, being a softer material as the stainless steel. So those are some of the things that can factor into the total cost of ownership. Steel is going to last a little longer, going to be more durable, whereas aluminum might be a little less expensive. And but there's certainly qualities to that too. On the coating side of things, can they see this behind me? Okay. So on the coating side of things, we have Ceramic Guard 2, which is the best in the good, better, best. So good is Power Coat 2, better is Steel Coat, and Ceramic Guard is the best. And best meaning most durable in that. So there's certainly going to be a cost involved with that, but it's, the hardest of the non-stick materials that we have. Steel Coat is still very hard, it has a very strong top layer, but not quite as durable as the Ceramic Guard. And then Power Coat, it's still durable compared to a lot of our competitors, but not as durable as the Ceramic Guard. Some people still like the Power Coat because it is the smoothest of the three non-coats. So for stuff like eggs, people really do like the Power Coat and kind of can lean towards that. But that's really how they're different on those things. But in the expected wear performance part of it, basically you need 10 Power Coat pans for the life of 3 Ceramic Guard pans. So when you cycle that out, that somebody's going to have to be going through 10 pans versus 3 in the life of the non-stick of it. And again, I will preface this by saying we've all been in kitchens where people are treating things the way they're not supposed to. A lot of places can be harder on products than others. I mean, some places take care of their stuff like it's their own at home and it will last forever and ever. But this is in a general kind of conversation about the lifetime of these products. So you have 100 pans of Power Coat 2 versus needing 50 pans of the Steel Coat 3, 30 pans of the Ceramic Guard 2. So 100 Power Coat pans, about $4,000. 50 of the Steel Coat, it's about $2,400. Ceramic Guard 2, it's $1,600. So you're talking about a 30% savings when they spend a little more up front in the life of the pans for the Ceramic Guard, about 40% savings when they're at the Steel Coat versus going with the Power Coat pans, just in the durability and the life cycle of the nonstick coat. So that's kind of part of this total cost of ownership. Sure, they can go in and see a Power Coat, hey, that's less expensive than the Ceramic Guard, but they're going to have to be replacing it over and over. Same thing when you're looking at cookware, stainless steel versus aluminum. Stainless steel is just a more durable product. It's going to last a lot longer. It's resistant to corrosion. It's non-reactive to foods. It won't retain flavor. It's easier to clean than aluminum. So that's some of the labor savings involved in having an aluminum stock pot versus stainless steel, and you're going to be replacing that more and more. Steam table pans is a big one for us in the durability aspect, but more than just a durability. So Super Pan 5s, the way they're designed, are 7 times stronger than any other pans out there. They look good, they perform well, they hold up really well, but they're not going to be the least expensive out there, especially compared to some of these economy pans coming. Listen, we sell economy pans. We have our -9 economy pans. There's certainly a market for that. But if somebody's been in business a while and they're not going anywhere, they might want to invest in a stronger, more durable pan than they're using now. So we got a full line, any kind of thing you could think of: perforated pans, nonstick pans, covers, handles, everything. Those are all in there. And part of what you have to think about in this total cost of ownership is the other parts of what that pan's doing, how it's being used. So for example, everybody's been into a food service buffet and seen pans sitting in the steam well with the bent corners. It doesn't look great, sure, but the other aspects of it that kind of make it less efficient than our pans, it's allowing that steam to escape. So that steam is escaping, which is doing a number of things. One is making that hot well work harder to keep the temperature up. So that's less efficient. Two, it's not heating the food to the proper temperatures because it's not as hot. The steam is escaping. That's what's supposed to be keeping the food hot. So now you have food safety issues potentially. Also, it's releasing that steam into the air. So your HVAC is having to work harder to keep that kitchen or the dining area cooler. So those are kind of the thing. That pan is less efficient. Sure, it was cheaper to buy, but in the long run, it's bent. You're having to not only replace it because it's bent. When it bends, it can sharpen the edges, which can, cut someone. Now you're talking about risk mitigation, and it's actually increasing your expenses overall. So our pans, you got to really work to bend or dent even our Super Pan 5s. They're that strong and durable. You won't have any of that waste that goes along with economy pans. So those are kind of the ancillary parts of the total cost of ownership that we want to keep in mind, that people don't necessarily think of when they're just thinking of kind of, hey, I have to buy this pan 10 times for this one, but there's a lot of other stuff that's costing them money on the back end that they may not realize. So talking about food waste, all of our Jacobs Pride products, all of these guys, every single one of these is made to the exact measurement that's in it. If we're saying it's 4 ounces, it's going to be 4 ounces. There's no differentiation between the bowls where you can, one might be 4 ounces and one is 4.2 ounces because it just was made a little long. Our precision on these items does not waver like a lot of the other items. So when you're talking about portioning, that's a huge aspect. If your portion control is a little bit off, it can cost you a ton of money. Food waste consists of 30 to 40 billion annually in the commercial and retail industries. So nearly 50% of the food in the United States is wasted, which is a crazy number to think about. And the costs can be significant to operators. So our products help you control those costs with the precision and way we make those items. So here's something from Jim Laub at restaurantowner.com. Consistently overportioning a $6 per pound product, just half an ounce, adds almost 19 cents to the serving cost. If you do that 100 times a day, you lose $133 a week, and that's almost $7,000 a year. And that's just on one product. So you're overportioning that can really, in the long term, affect your food costs. And you multiply that by the number of items that you're using that you don't exactly know what that portion is every single time it comes out, it can really add up. So that's a good conversation to have with your operators. Like, do they really know what their food cost is? They think they know, but they may be leaking cost through waste out of the back end and not even realize it. So again, on that note, we'd be happy to come in and meet with customers, do a kitchen review, kind of do an efficiency study, not just on our stuff. Worked for Canberra, as you guys know, repped with Finn for a lot of years. There's a lot of experience and 20 years doing this now, going into a kitchen and kind of being able to identify areas where they may be able to save themselves some money or they're costing themselves money. And I'd be happy to go in and kind of do some of those efficiency studies with them. A lot of people are open to that these days. They're not only trying to save in food waste, but the efficiency of their employees, less steps. How many times are we having to refill that sandwich prep line because we're using 9th pans? Maybe they can use 8th pans, and instead of having to refill 10 times a day, they can chop that down to 6 times a day. Those are sort of things that we can help identify, and it helps you guys be a partner because no one else is bringing that stuff to them, coming in with ideas and opportunities for them. So reach out to me, let me know. Bill is down in South Florida. He's, very well versed on this stuff, happy to do the same thing. But that's just something that we can offer that maybe a lot of other people can't. All right, so we talked about dishers and those are all JP warranty items, just to mention that again. The JP warranty, we are going to be kind of upgrading that just marketing terminology. Not everybody knows when you say, hey, that's a JP item, they don't know that means, you know, lifetime guarantee on a product. So you're going to start seeing some stuff from us as we transition to JP, lifetime guarantee, and then eventually it'll be a Vollrath lifetime guarantee product, because we've sort of realized that, pardon me, not everybody knows exactly what JP is. Excuse me. Too much yapping, I'm sorry. Yeah, getting up in front of the camera and just yapping for 30 minutes. I'm used to like feedback and questions. Are there any questions on there? I know they can throw in notes.
Water there?
I got a little coffee, thank you. Tony checking on me. He said, what a sweetheart. So, all right, back to the JP warranty stuff. So on our dishers, on all of these kind of things, if the handle cracks or breaks, that's all JP warranty stuff. Just send us a picture, send us the PO. We'll get that replaced right away. A lot of times, you know, we'll have customers come in and they'll have melted an aluminum pan. That takes like 900 degrees minimum to start that process. So that's somebody that left it on the burner and totally roasted it. We'll educate them on that and still replace the pan for them with the knowledge like, hey, this is why this happened. Next time it's not going to be a warranty item. That was a use problem. And we see that a lot with induction. You know, people get induction burners the first time. They're using a non-stick pan, you know, a tribute pan like this guy, and they don't realize how quickly that heats up. They're used to throwing a pan on, you know, their gas burner. It's heating it up. It takes a couple minutes to get hot. And they try that same thing with an induction. They're not used to it, and it gets hot in, you know, 15 seconds. They roast the nonstick coating before they even realize it. So we'll work with customers on that kind of stuff. But JP is on construction and durability. If it's you know, somebody, like I said, roasts a pan, we'll have to talk with them about it, but that's not really the warranty as it's designed to kind of cover. But dishers, they're NSF. You can take them apart to clean them. That's how they're NSF. We can show people how to put them together, how to take them apart, how to really clean those items. They're made in the USA. We've added a second line for our dishers. I know we've sort of had some trouble keeping those in stock during supply chain stuff, but we are well through that and building stock. That's the good news on a lot of this JP stuff. Super Pan Pop 5s, we have everything in stock right now except for 2 items. The dishers, full capacity, added capacity on production. So those are back in stock. Aluminum pans, everything except for one 16 gauge NSF pan. All of our bun pans are all back in stock. We're really through the kind of labor problems we had, through the supply chain problems we had, and are back up with full stock in the stuff. So you should have full confidence selling any of this Vollrath stuff. I will say outside, you know, listen, I gotta tell the truth, the whole truth. The tri-vent handles on our pans is third-party supplier. They quit making them for us. And so that's really put us behind on the tri-vent handle. But we have the Cool Touch, the stick handles like this guy. Are all in stock. So if you have somebody that's been waiting on a tri-vent handle a long time and they'd be willing to switch, these are actually more expensive. And I'll move you into those pans to get that order filled at the same price as the tri-vent handles, which are a little less expensive. And we are solving that problem. We should have by NAFM a new and improved handle that we are actually going to be making at Vollrath ourselves, so we don't have to rely on somebody else, a third party, to and run into this situation again. I think a lot of people in our industry realized when the supply chain kind of went kaput that we got a lot of work to do, and we got to figure out how to bring this stuff in house. And we're doing that not only on those handles, but a lot of our countertop equipment too. So panini presses, some of the toasters, the countertop fryer, we are all making in-house now, and they're going to be unveiling some of those items at NAFM too. All right, so very good. Talking about total cost of ownership. Here, put it down on the stuff. All right, let me keep myself on track here. Listen, the last thing on the kitchen essentials, we know we talked about dishers, but that goes across the board for all of these items. All of these JP items, whether it's a spoodle, a squeeze disher, a thumb disher, any of these kind of items are spoons, perforated, all of those are made with the same kind of precision. So from spoon to spoon, item to item, they're all going to be the same ounces every single time. So you don't have to worry about that waste. Moving to equipment, because JP doesn't just fall under the smallware stuff. We're talking about on equipment, total cost of ownership falls into equipment too. So stuff like manual food processors, our Instacut 5.1, a lot more efficient than any of the ones out there. We make it with serrated blades that would come to a nice point on them. So they pierce the product, which makes it easier to chop. You're not squishing and, like a tomato, for example, you're not pressing into it and squishing it. You're actually piercing it so it chops. The serrated blade gives you more surface area on every single one of those chops. So it's easier to do. Captive screws on all of the items, so you don't lose a screw in there and have to thumb through it and end up losing a whole batch of product that you chop because some piece of the equipment fell in there. So and they're much more efficient. So you're talking about labor saving, somebody actually chopping. If you move them into a manual food processor, it's a lot more efficient, a lot more consistent with uniform results. So that can reduce food waste. You're not having kind of a different sizes on your slices and chops versus the exact precision of a chopper. And it skirts around some of these, it doesn't fall under some of the labor laws that electronic processors do. So I looked this up the other day. So under the U.S. Department of Labor website, youth 16 and 17 years old may perform any non-hazardous job for unlimited hours. Examples of equipment declared hazardous in restaurants include power-driven meat processing machines, saws, grinding, chopping, slicing machines. Those are all things that, kids, 16, 17-year-old kids working in restaurants are not allowed to use. Our manual food price, the Instacut 5.1, the Instacut 3.5, any of the Onion King tomato slicers, any of those things don't fall under those laws. So you can have kids, first jobs, coming into restaurants. Labor is tough for everybody right now. They can use our manual food choppers, slicers, processors, where they can't use the electric ones. So, it's right there on the website. It is risk mitigation and it's productivity and labor savings for folks versus just having to use a knife on those. Have them in stock. It's a really great product. There's accessories that you can add to it to kind of speed up efficiency of changing out the blades and the handles. We have just T-pack kits that includes the handle. 5 minutes, okay. The handle, the blades, everything in it that makes it really easy to transition from dicing something to slicing something, and anyone in the kitchen can use it. I have samples, be happy to walk around with anybody and show them to customers because I think it's a really, really great product that we make that is really well made here in the US by us. So last thing on efficiency, because I have 5 minutes. I know we talked about induction a lot, but induction is a more expensive technology on the front end. Of course, total cost of ownership on the induction is really going to save you not only in the efficiency of the product, so energy savings, speed of use, it's going to heat up water that much faster than anything else out there, but it's not releasing that heat into the kitchen. So there's that HVAC cost, having all these gas burners going, heating up that kitchen that you're having to cool down. Those costs are reduced when you use kind of energy efficient equipment like this. It's 93% more efficient than gas because that energy is going right into the pan. It's not being released and we're not losing it into the atmosphere of the kitchen. So that's kind of something that people don't really think about when you're talking about induction and the real benefits of it. Sure, the energy savings, sure, the efficiency of cooking, the precision by dialing in a specific temperature from 80 degrees on our ranges all the way up to 450, 500 degrees. But that energy is going directly into the pan. You're not losing it. And that's some real savings. And honestly, people want to work in environments that are comfortable. Super hot kitchens are a real problem, especially in Florida, and you don't want your products adding to that. So I think I've yapped for about 30 minutes now. I see Tony coming out. So again, there's this deck for total cost of ownership is 40 more pages or something. I'm happy to have these conversations with you guys, with your customers. Call me. I love making customer calls with you guys. Without you guys, on your behalf, happy to go in and say, hey, Scott Hall sent me in. Just let me know, and we're here to help you not only sell, make a lot more money. Good luck, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael. So one of the things I want everyone to take away from today's presentation is talking about that cost of ownership and not always going out there to sell the cheapest item you've got. Because as Michael went through the presentation, he talked about, specifically like on the steam tams, how those corners just get bent and how it releases that heat and doesn't keep the product hot and what have you. There's the long-term value and there's the short-term value. And you're going to have those C&D customers that are going to buy, the aluminum foil steam table pans. That's a fact of life. But as salespeople, it is our job, and it's incumbent on us to go out and show them the difference and say, hey, for a couple dollars more, you can get something that's actually going to last you a long time. So again, what we're going to be focusing on right now for the month of December, and the contest is going to be on the Jacob's Pride line. Whoever sells the most Jacob's Pride line in the next 3 months is going to be the beneficiary of $500, $300, and $200. Good stuff. Okay. So does anyone have questions about the Vollrath presentation today before I move on to the next subject? Okay, moving on to the next subject. So I'm going to share my screen with everybody because we're going to talk about our good friend, Servy the robot.
Yep, we got it.
Yes.
Thank you. So what we're going to be able to do for Servy in the month of December, and how we do determines if it goes forward, is we are going to be able to have the ability to sell the Servy robot. Okay, so this is a good thing. And what we're going to do is I sent out yesterday to everybody their company branded paperwork for them to hand out to their customers or email to their customers. And we also have, blank, the inside for you guys. Now, what you'll see down here are the TRX numbers for the robots, okay? And if I go over to TRX, you'll see bare, the factory cost of robot, and the sell price is $1,200. Now, again, the cost on these bad boys is $8,000, okay? And your sell price is $1,200. You can go through the other TRX numbers on the other page down here to see the other sale prices, but it kind of looks like this. So what you're going to have is you got your cost of robot, your shipping fee, your deployment fee, and it's going to give you a cost of that and a sell of $12,352. Now, what's really neat about this, if you think about it, our lease price was $1,100, about $1,100 a month. Well, right off the bat, it's cheaper to buy than it is to lease. And then you get a 1-year warranty. If you want to go ahead and add a 2-year warranty to it, all you have to do is have my mouse work. There it is. Come on, you can do it. Anyway, you'll see the year 2 warranty, the year 3 warranty, and that's also in your TRX listing as well. So what I would say to you is take your flyers out, take your PDFs out, get these out to your customers, let them know, hey, look, we now have the ability to sell these units to you. This should be a pretty exciting thing as far as getting movement on these robots, because at the end of the day, these things are moving. They really are. They're moving, they're being leased, they're being sold, and now the competition has picked up on this, and I've heard that Gordon Food Service is doing this. So I don't know who else is out there. I just heard about Gordon, but this is something that you need to get out in front of your customers, and this would be a perfect time of year. How do we place the order on this? You put it in TRX, you use the cost of robot, the shipping fee and deployment fee. You put those three down, it goes into TRX, you send an email to orders, and the next thing you know, it's ordered for your customer. We'll handle all the paperwork on our side, but let's go out and try to show these, and let's see if we can get one of these bad boys sold. If you have any questions on this, I want you to call me directly. I don't want to take time up the sales meeting going over the minutia details of this, but I want you to give me a call and ask me about this, because I think now that we can sell this, we have a much better chance. Okay? Any general questions on this? Okay, so real quick, want to go over some results. Number one, we're motoring right along with the Vollrath promotion. I have not gotten the second month's buffet promotion tallied yet, but I do have the current standings for the platinum, diamond, and gold categories. Right now with platinum, Carlos Pancho is in first place with $57,000 and 8.2 thousand in gross profit. Mo Trout is coming in at 36,000, and Tammy Sweat is coming in at 16,000. In the diamond category, Joe Custed is in first place with 21,000, $3,500 in gross profit. Alex Guzman is coming in at 7.4 thousand, and Mike Gercio is coming in at 3.5 thousand. In our gold category, we've got Thomas Wickham coming in at 5.3 thousand, Antonio Torres in at 2.7, and Eric Braun coming in at 2.4. So obviously we still got 1 month left to go in the cumulative contest. A lot of people are very close, and all you have to do is get with your sales leaders to find out exactly where you stand. Okay, any questions on that contest? Now we're going to go to the new account form. This is where I'm going to slow down a little bit. Been excited. Now, can everybody see the internal account setup sheet?
Yes.
Okay, so let's talk about this for a moment. So everybody should have seen this sheet. Everybody should know about this sheet. But one of the things about this sheet is now this is going to be mandatory for you to open up an account. Okay. I don't know what's been going on as far as getting this open, but now this form must be sent in. So what we've done and what we're going to do is we're going to have this tweaked a little bit. Right now, what we've done is we've made it available where you can put down what branch you are at as far as that goes. So then you have your ship to and your bill to, okay? Now this is your bill to. And what we need in this is the customer's legal name. They may be the Columbia Restaurant Group. The legal name is Eulalie. And then you have a billing address. You may have a ship to name, which will be, Eulalie, and the ship to address there. But if the billing address is different, we need to know that, as well as the ship to address. This information needs to be complete. I also need to know who is this going to, who's your sales rep. You need to get credit for it, your rep number, and your rep email. Moving down, this we're going to update this further. But we have basically 4 types of accounts. We've got the national account, the multi-unit account, the street account, and the contract account. Okay, so if you click national, a national account is something like Compass that a lot of you are familiar with. There you would put down, we're going to have a drop down box, but for right now, you would just type in Compass. Okay, and then you would have the concept, and we would be like Morrison's. Then what you would have is a concept called healthcare. So what we're going to do, not today, but in the future, we will update these with the names of our national accounts. Okay, so for example, the Columbia Restaurant Group could go here. You know, and then it could be Eulalie. Okay, and then we would have fine dining. Michelle, I consider it fine dining. Okay. But we'll have these set up, so we'll have this. If it's a multi-unit, okay, let's just say it's something, for example, like Tijuana Flats, okay, where it's maybe just a regional or statewide, you know, there we have multi-unit here. Tijuana Flats, and then we would have Mexican. Then you could have street. You know, Bascom's. You know, fine dining. What we're trying to do is get these so we can categorize them and keep track of them, you know, find out how many fine dining restaurants we're calling on, how many fast food restaurants we're calling on, how many healthcare places we're calling on, how many stadiums we're calling on, and getting that information for the marketing department. If you have any questions, please jump in at any time.
Hey, Tony. Hey, it's Mike Urcio. On the, so if you got a multi-unit, you have to fill one out for each, like say Phelan down here. We fill one out for Pinchers. Do we fill one out for Deep Lagoon? Do we fill one out for Texas Tony's and
If you have
do all that? Or
yes, so what that would be, okay, is for example, it would be Pinchers, okay?
in the
Okay.
top. Okay,
In the
Pinchers
top,
there.
okay? Because see, Pinchers has more than one guy, okay? Whereas Tijuana Flats is,
Yes.
you know, or First Watch, or Jimmy Hula's, those type of places, those are just them. But like say, for example, for Pinchers, what was it? Fat Tony's, what was it?
We got Texas Tony's.
There you go.
Pinchers.
So you would have Texas Tony, and you would go, steakhouse. Okay. And what you would do, like I say, once we get these drop-down menus set up, you'd have a choice. And
Okay.
but this would be for new accounts only, Mike. Okay, as you're going forward. So as a new account opens up, okay, and you need an account number, okay, for it. Now, we have contract down here, and now contract, there's a separate form for contracts. But what this does, this gives us the information of who the primary contact is, their phone and email. If you do not put the name, phone, and email in this slot, the account will not be opened. Okay? Same thing for coming down here. Who is the billing, email, contact, and phone? If you do not have those three filled out, the account will not be opened. Now, the reason for this is that we have a tremendous amount of accounts in our system that do not have a phone number or an email. So how do we contact these people if there's a problem? How do we contact these people if we need to send them an updated bill? How do we contact these people if we need to send them a statement? This way it's going to be in TRX, and therefore the computer recognizes it and gets the invoice sent out. This is critical. Also, on the marketing side of this, it allows us to go and make them a part of our e-blast, because we're going to, in 2023, we are going to really ratchet up a lot of our electronic marketing. And therefore, we need to have these emails, and they basically need to be, addressing those marketing functions. Okay. So that. Let me do that. Any other questions so far? You know,
When do you
except,
think the new form will be available, Tony?
I'm going to be emailing it out today to everyone.
Okay.
Okay, it's going out the door as soon as this meeting is over. Accept back orders. You know, here's the thing: is your customer the kind of customer who says, "Yeah, I'll wait 2 or 3 weeks for a 6-inch ladle or 6-ounce ladle"? You know, that's one thing you can put down, yes or no. Billing email we went over. Now, when these get submitted, okay, everybody at Betts Florida Avenue, Betts Fort Myers, Betts South Carolina, Lewis Wall, E.H. Thompson, FSR and Big A in Atlanta, and our friends at GWSC up in South Carolina, you need to email those to Cindy Cruz at the IFG. Reason being is we're on all one bet system. B&J, Ms. Gagliardi is going to be handling that. If this is not filled out properly with all the necessary information, you know, both people will be getting back in touch with you saying, hey, this needs to be filled out properly. Okay, this is only to help you folks, like I say, get this information out to your customer. Coming over here, since it's a new customer, you're going to say, and this is going to go to accounting along with a credit application, obviously. This, just because you're doing this internal account setup sheet, it doesn't mean that you're getting credit. You still have to turn in a credit form. But you're going to say, what's the opening order? Well, if you're working on a small wares opening order, you know, it might be $50,000. Put it down. If it's a project, it's $300,000. Put it down. If it's resupply, it's an existing customer, but they're now buying from you instead of brand X, you know, put down $5,000. And if it's a pack and hold for a project, a small wares, you put it over here. And again, all your credit limits, and the key word here is requested. You got to get that credit app in there. That's a must. Okay. Prepayment, credit card, contract terms, credit card on file, net 37, COD cash, COD. Okay. Now, a feature that we have that a lot of people may have forgotten about, show delivery ticket pricing. I don't know about you, but do you want your prices on there? Because they're going to be sent an invoice. What that customer gets from us is a delivery ticket. We sent 4 of this, 6 of this, 3 of that, 2 of that. But that invoice could be sitting on somebody's desk and your competitor come in and see what your pricing is. So we have the ability to turn off ticket pricing on delivery tickets. That might be something you want to consider, especially with a lot of these places that give you purchase orders. If you got a purchase order number on there, boom, that's fine. You don't need to put pricing on there. Why? Because the accounting department's going to see the invoice. The guy down there receiving it doesn't need to see how much this stuff costs, but just something to think about. And then finally, we talk about the delivery area. This is where, you know, we sit there and talk about how can we help the guys in the warehouse do their job more efficiently. So who's the person receiving this? Now, you know, if this is a street account, the same person may be primary contact, billing contact, and delivery contact. But it'd be nice to know who is the guy receiving this. Who is the guy in charge for signing this? What's his phone number? Hey, James, we're running late. Wanted to let you know. What time of the hour's delivery? That'd be nice to know as well. If the chef doesn't get there till 1 o'clock and we slot it for the first delivery in the morning, we're going to show up at 8 o'clock and nobody's there, which means now we got to loop back. It helps our warehouse to have an hours of delivery. And of course, things like this, dock available. Is it going in an elevator? Are stairs required to get in the delivery area? What floor is it on? Number of stairs? Again, all things to be considered, because the type of truck, you know, if we come there with a lift gate, we're doing good. But if we're not using the lift gate or we're using the van to deliver things, that may cause a problem. It helps us out. Finally, where is the product delivered once inside the facility? Hey, Are our team going to be delivering it in a showroom and putting it there? Is it going to be delivered just in the hallway of the kitchen? Or is there some other place that they need to go to? Nice to know for the warehouse where they're going to be delivering this. Obviously, if they're tax exempt, please include that exempt certificate with the setup sheet. Now, again, the key thing to this form is to be completed by the sales rep, not the customers. Okay, just don't give this to your customer and say, fill this out. He has to fill out the credit app. You need to fill out this. And once you get this to Cindy or Miss Gagliardi, then what happens is then you keep a file for yourself, because that, you'll remember if they have a lift gate or not, but it's just something that you can use it for your own information. This is a form that is a customer requesting terms. So a credit application needs to accompany this forms. Everything I've discussed is down here in the small print. Don't need to go over that anymore. But like I said, the only tweak we will be making to this is we will be having a drop-down menu here specifically for the ones that we have existing. So like, say, for example, if somebody goes open and opens a Jimmy Hula's, then we will add Jimmy Hula's to this concept or franchise. Okay? Any questions on this? This is real important, because the counting will not give you a number without having this form. So December is a good month to start this, because business is booming, but new accounts are a little slow this time of month because everybody's hunkered down, getting ready to try to get through these holidays. But I'm asking everybody, must have the primary contact, must have the billing information, and must have this completely filled out. It's going to take you all of 5 or 10 minutes to do, gang. Really. Any questions?
Nope.
Pretty self-explanatory. And in wrapping up the sales meeting, we will, and this will be the last sales meeting of the month. We will not have a lunch and learn this month, but we will go back to our sales meetings in January. We have our Path to 3X contest that we started at the June Leadership Conference. And we'll let you know that there's one new person in the group that's qualified for bonus money to be paid out in February. Congratulations to Joe Custed. Everything you do from here on out is bonus time. Good job for you. So now we have 8 people in the club. A lot of people are just on the cusp of getting bonus money. So guys and gals, let's kick it into gear. This is not a month to just sit back and relax. We got some big numbers we have to hit for the end of the year, and we'll go from there. Like I said, I know some folks today are doing inventory. God love you. Loads of fun. We got a lot of people coming up in the month of December doing inventory. I see you, Kelly. So at the end of the day, we've got a lot of stuff going on. We've got a couple new people going to be joining us in Atlanta, going to be coming down here for training next week. So fast and furious December, time not to slow down, time to hit the sales. And with that being said, if I don't talk to you before then, or I don't send email, I want everybody to have a wonderful holiday season. Enjoy it. Have a good time. All the spiff payouts will be for Vollrath will be in January. All the spiff payouts for the Path to 3X will be in February. I just found out that the Padella contest we had will be on the December 9th paycheck. So the 3 people who won that are going to be getting a nice little hit there. Anything else from anybody across the universe?
Nope.
Everyone, thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.